Okay, I think we're good. Hello, everyone. Just give me 1 second here. I misspelled the stream name on YouTube. Hello to everyone watching, mostly in the YouTube. Hello. We are doing an art stream today again, this time earlier. Let me know if the music's too loud a little bit. I can't tell too much from here, but I have it reduced on the desktop side OBS, so it might be there, but you know, keeps the mood going, right? So today we are making, well, we're doing the same thing we've been doing the past few days. If you followed along, most of you probably haven't. We are making a model hand for my V2 model base. Not like my actual model, but like this will not be part of it. This will be its own separate model. This is going to follow my cursor basically, but what it's going to do is use my tablet with it. So it follows that along, right? So the goal is to have it basically... Oh, you know, I did forget some stuff. Okay. Give me a second here. I've got to get something up real quick. I gotta get my personal site of the chat up. There we go. Put it in the corner. Like that. And it's up there. Good. Okay. You can't see it. I can see it. You guys go see regular chat, though. We have that installed to have chat today as well. And we fixed that last night, which was basically this morning. This is midnight stream. Anyways, so let's go over the goals we have. So the hand looks a lot better. This is the original stuff we had here on this little side bit here, right? And this is more of the... Oh, should I really... Hold on a second. Even though it's just the top there, I just wanted to make it clear. Okay. I was trying to, like, mark around a little bit to get Frida to appear in OBS. It's very finicky. So we have this here. Right, we got this. This is what it was, and this is what it ends up being a bit. Now, mind you, okay? This looks weird and dark and odd ways. We're going to lower the opacity of, like, all these shadows a lot. These are just dark shadows because you cannot increase opacity, you know. If you go with half transparency in like Live 2D, you're not going to get 100%. You can't go more in case you need more for something. Maybe you need to darken an edge as it gets closer and make it really dark then at a certain point or something like that, you know. So there's a lot to it. Anyways, I digress. We are trying to finish this today, so we're trying to get everything that would probably be necessary to make it look right. I kind of feel like these edges on the glove don't look that great too a bit. Like, they don't look bad, right? But there's a bit more we can do, I think. And that's the thing that's going to be going on as we do this stream today. I was just going to double check everything real quick. It looks like everything's working. Let me make sure it's working in the Twitches at least. And it is. I double check a lot of stuff in the stream, so you'll see that a bit lately, but I thought of doing a earlier art stream today instead of midnight. I didn't get much sleep less. Because I focus on stuff and yeah, it gets into my mind. So what we are trying to do though is basically fix some of the bits around here. You know, we're trying to get a few things done, but other than that, lengthen the arm is one thing I was thinking of. Is lengthening the arm, finishing that arm up, and that'll be good to go. Get that going with the cuff, and the sleeve is finished then, right? What I was thinking of. Well, yeah, there's a lot of things I was thinking of, but that's one of the big things that there is that we're going to tighten up some of the shaders. We're going to have a lot of parts we're going to put into Live 2D, which I'll probably have to do even off stream, but we might animate this on stream. I don't know. Because animations are kind of my jam thing. I kind of enjoy them a little on my own time a bit, but at the same time, I could show you guys how it works and teach people how Live 2D operates. And it's very quick and easy, honestly. I mean, in the end, if I really wanted to, all I had to do is finish this, and all I have to do is make it go up, down, left, right. That's it. That is all you have to do to animate a pen hand, technically, right? But Now I want to push a little further. We're going to add some rotation into it. Maybe some animation to it and stuff to that. There's a lot to do, okay? So that's something I want to work on a bit. I think first off, let's turn off the sleeve. I want to work on the glove a little bit. So we've already got a bunch of it. I kind of feel like that lock pin out of the way. Oh, I'm thinking we do it like this. Get a bit to it, right? Oh. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're doing a we're going to be trying to get a line going for a outside shadow for this. We'll see what we can do with it. We'll see how it works with this a bit. Okay. So now we have our shadow layer. Oh yeah, I forgot I did get rid of the rest of the hand. I was going to make it all black. Crap. 1 second. My pen. Okay. So now the girl, let's just see how this looks. We got a little line. See, that's all black. Select the whole thing so it's only within the parameters of the glove itself. Add a bit of edge to it. Now this can always be shrunk down, right? But it adds a little bit of impact to it, you know? On that note, I kind of wonder. It's gonna be a weird thing I want to try to do here. Let me see. No, I don't want to do everything. I just want to do a little bit. What is my threshold? Oh, that's a pretty high threshold. Let's go for a small threshold. Okay, that's way too small. Give me the dark parts. Give me a little bit more of it without too much. That's good. Oh. More. There we go. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, now I'm gonna copy that. Or just actually, I don't have to copy, but just in case. So invert and delete. So now we have an outline of it, just left there on its own. The reason being is I want to get lost completely and forget where everything is. Oh, there it goes. Select it all. And we will blur that outline. Oh. Just a bit. We blur the outline a bit to that. I'll have to kind of like work a little better. But maybe I can just do this part. We got rid of it here. But that's the only thing we can use is this. We hit that. Oh, we'll put, there we go. Not do better. And then we'll blur it. Seems pretty bad. We'll see in a second. Duplicate. Duplicate. Merge. We're probably gonna not do this like this, but just made it too much. Okay. did not work. We'll have to just go with trying to do what I was doing with this, I think. If I just... I'm not good with a lot of this stuff. You're going to have to forgive me. If I do this, I can still duplicate some of it. Let's make it darker. Try to see what that would look like. I'm not good with the outlines. You can see that. But we'll just... don't worry about it, I guess. Experiments are what keep things working well. That, and we delete. We deselect it. Grab that again, and add some blur. Merge these two together, and add a little blur just to make sure they don't completely look like they're overlapping. Just one is all. We got a little bit more, you know, shading to it a bit. Doesn't need to be aligned just a little bit. I didn't, Oh, I did merge them. Then we want to blur. One of the issues I have, if I don't have the selection properly and I blur or go outside the line, so I have like weird like fuzzy effects outside of it, don't do that. Technically, you don't even really need this stuff. It just helps it kind of be there, you know? Things will happen, things will look better, they'll do better, and that's the important part about it. So, the aspects of it is to kind of just, you know, get to kind of work right. So, basically the shading does nothing, but makes it look good. Makes your eyes think we got more going on than it is. Which is fine. It's what we want. We want your eyes to not see a solid color, even though there is a solid color. We want it to kind of feel there's a little bit of a softness to it. Mind you, again, I'm terrible at this stuff. This is still... don't know if I'm going to keep that or not. That's just a bunch of darkenings that kind of get it a little bit more, you know. Alright, we're going to darken this a little more. Should have. Nah. I think the top's good because this is a raised finger. The lights on the top sides. I don't think I nearly need to worry about that too much. Only problem we have here is this part. Which we're just going to simplify with a simple blur dot. Ta-da. And that gets that part. Now let's get to the worst part. The hands. So terrible. But you can't see it, so it's not a big deal. Just background noise anyways. Everyone will just cut out bits and just use it for other things. If all opacity's at 100%, I won't lose them at least. A lot of this is going to be baked in, so I don't have to worry about like moving and shifting shadows. Well, that's more important for like the finger, the index, and the thumb, and the hand, and the arm. For the background fingers, they can just be static at the end. We basically just need to, you know, I'm gonna duplicate this layer, turn off the old one, then merge this sucker down. There. Should have done that, actually. In retrospect. Losing sight of my stuff here. Okay. Hello, Quentin. How are you doing today? Art stream today. Leave this layer on the stone. Light can do a lot of things. Yes, well, I've just started doing the art streams, Quentin. I started doing them like Monday at midnight, like 1 in the morning, right? So I've decided if I do art streams, I do art. Then I don't sit around like a lazy good for nothing. Thus, I profit, and everyone gets a stream. Okay, let's... You know what I should do? Shadows of the rest on top of this. Still think it's a little bright, so to speak. Shrink the selection by about 2 pixels to see how that looks. It's a little better. I'll have to manually remove some of these here. We can do this. We're trying not to mess with the areas in between, you see. So what we're going to be doing in is trying to get this going. Thank you, Quentin. It'll be used for the art streams that I'm doing right now, which is very meta. It's a drawing hand model. Overly organized and manipulated. Terrible fingers, though. Look at this. Oh, some E.T. fingers I made here. But it looks fine behind the hands. That's all that matters. Just angles and stuff you can't see. That's all they're made for, just to keep the background. I mean, technically, right through here's where the hand should be. I just drew the fingers all the way, so I didn't have to worry so much. But that should be where the palm is, honestly. Like, here to... here, this area. That would look correct too. Alright, so we got that selection. Now we darken. Oh, I've got a shadow layer. Hello, Dr. Phineas. Perfection is the pursuit of perfection, and then giving up halfway, and everyone else thinks it's better than it should be. That's what the goal is. You guys always show up my gaming stream, so let me explain to you. Also, let me just make sure it's working. Yeah, you guys should be able to see the chat now. I don't look that other kind of insane now. You guys can see that what everyone else is saying now. I got the chat up properly on the art stream. We did I think what Monday, Tuesday. Did I get it up for Monday? I can't remember. Anyways, it's all up. So let's see here. Now I'll add a shadow of the finger and the thumb, manipulate with them, to work with them and stuff, an underlayer and stuff, connect them together, and that'll work as well too. So I should probably get that going too. It's about time to start lowering layers. If you guys see anything you think needs to be added or done, let me know. We're trying to get this looking nice and fancy, or at least good enough. Don't worry about the over-shininess. That's going to go away eventually, too. That just allows me to affect it better in Live 2D. There'll be an animation stream one day, maybe. Who knows? Hopefully, I guess, you know. This is what's been bothering me for a while. I had this idea, and I had to keep doing it and working on it because I'm possessed by the concept, and I have to try to getting it going. I thought it'd be really cool and neat. And I over-engineer everything, which is fine for animation because I'm good at it. But when it comes to art, I am trash. Never get it going right. Always obsess over things I shouldn't obsess over. Let's get this going this way. Get some shading on this side of it. Ah, so it seems you're confused by it. I will explain as well, couldn't I? Explain at the beginning of all my streams, and I'll explain again 1,000 times. It's fun to explain. Let me show you my mad ideas. So the hand has multiple uses. Now, hopefully, it's going to be for these streams in particular. So, the goal, let's go to the old design. So the goal of this would be, let me just copy this later here. I can use it for something. This will show you what we're doing. So the whole idea is, you see where this pin is, right? I don't know if you can see my cursor when I'm doing this, but See, the pin will be the tip. It will be based on 2 parameters here. So the whole idea is we have our little hand. Oh, that's the wrong. We have a little hand here, right? With a pin. Little arm in it, etc., right? And the idea is we have this little point of where it's at. That's where the point is on the pin, right? The point is the pin will follow my actual pin. So when I'm drawing, the hand will be here. Basically, what we're going to do is give it an X, Y, careful, Y parameter setup. X is means left, right. Y is up, down. Technically, there's Z for like in, out, and stuff, but we're not doing that kind of Z. Our Z is going to be rotation. So we have 3 parameters for this. This means when all, 1, 2, and 3 combine, what you're basically getting is a huge, like, 360 grid of, like, circle movement and everything. Okay, I draw a sphere to save my life, but it just goes all the way, then all the way. .360 sphere, basically, okay? Would be, well, let's move the V2 models. Instead, we're just doing our 360 instead of forward and backwards, and just rotating left and right, like my head does when I bob my head like this. So, we're going to have the hand be able to, essentially, the hand will follow my mouse and draw with me. The goal is to get this synced up perfectly, and then the hand will draw wherever I'm drawing. Right? So it'll follow where my pen is and look like I'm actually drawing. The other goal is mouse click. So the hand kind of like, tilts forward and stuff like that. So we'll have another layer of movement where the fingers move a little bit and stuff and squish off. And then finally, we're also going to add in physics, which is a weird thing to say for a 2D model. That's how V2 models work. You look at my robe kind of shift around when I move. I'm fixing up later one day anyways. That will make like the sleeves bounce and stuff. Maybe the hand twitches and moves a little bit. Maybe the arm and the hand disconnect a little, like a little bit of like twist between the wrist and the arm. And so the goal is to create an animated hand that looks like I'm drawing. Now, I might even go even further with it. Make a hand, make it with movements that are just slight from the area, and like big might be the arm, while slight might just be the hand moving a little bit or something. I don't know. I don't know how I do it. I'd have to rig it up, figure out some plans with it. But the whole point is to create a model that has the effects of it. And then there's things I could do, like when it gets closer to the top right, I might make it brighter on the knuckles and other parts, like the light, you're getting close to the light, and then dim down here like I'm getting further away, like I have a light on my table in the top right. This will create an aspect of dynamic shift to your eyes, and it plays tricks on you. When you see colors and shadows shake and shift and stuff like that, you just decide it's in motion and realism, and that will sell a 2D model to you that it's alive. I mean, it's kind of like how I try to sync my mouth with my words. Probably do a pretty good job for the most part, but I don't think it's as good as it could be in some ways. It's a little bit weird, finicky. I've still got a few, like, 1/10, no, probably not 1/10, a few hundreds of milliseconds off that I got to work with and stuff. And that will make it more better. I don't know if it go further, more or less. I'm confused by it. But it's a lot of stuff that goes into making V2 models look real, if you are a person that does them like I do and actually put forth a lot of effort to it. So there you go. The idea is to have it with a pen that follows my mouse. So when I'm doing this, the hand follows. I want it to look like my hand is actually drawing. That's the goal. So what we're working on here is finishing this up. It's the goal for today. It's almost finished. It's almost ready for rigging. It's almost ready for rigging. Well, it's more than a hobby. I'm trying to make a job out of it. You know, I got to find VTube wannabes and stuff and make them to VTubers and stuff like that. That's the goal. That's the goal. The whole thing is, I mean, I've got a lot of stuff on my belt. I've got the world's smallest VTube model. And I don't think anyone's ever done it before. And I might be the first to document it if no one has. So it's going to be hard for people to dispute that and this stuff. I made a pixel into a VTube model. It's an experiment to showcase on how minimalism can be effective with VTube models. And I have that under my belt. No one else has. So that's an interesting thing I've got going with that. And I just want to make VTube models. I mean, let's see. Let's see real quick here. Let me just... let me see if I can... put this into a thing or not. I can show you guys something. It's technically part of the set way of the stream. Hello, Fury. How are you? Let's see if I can get this to work right. Will that show his thing? There we go. Yeah. So if I hold Alt, I can do it better for that. He's streaming right now, by the way, silent. Booyah! This is a VTuber I made. He's streaming right now. It's Silent Mime Guy. You don't look, Quentin. You can talk all you want to. These streams are basically to help me actually focus on my work by talking with people that help me from you know, I get sidetracked from boredom because I'm so into one thing and it gets me. Oh, cool, Fury. It's always good to get back into some of the stuff you're working on. That's why I'm hoping to stream. But there you guys go. My second VTube model right there on the screen. Streaming right now. I'm so proud of him. He's solo streaming. It's months to get up there. But he's been solo streaming a lot lately. It's probably why you're getting art streams right now. I felt like streaming because he's streaming. That's what I wanted from my fellow streamers and stuff. So he's doing his part. He's insane too, so it's fun. He's playing Cuphead right now, by the way. A lot of cursing. A lot of cursing and complaining. He doesn't even know we're watching him together. I'm streaming his stream. Isn't that meta? Yes, very meta. I don't know, I thought it'd be fun for you guys to kind of see his stuff going on there. He's hilarious sounding. You need to hear him scream in distress. I have some shorts on it. The tricycle from Repo. I think it's like tricycle murder or something like that. Or homicidal. I don't know. Tricycle trauma, I think is what I called it. Maybe that's one. There's one where I actually reference the other short and stuff. He has hilarious screams. They are amazing. And he gets mad all the time at me because I say things to him. I jinxed him in his stream before I left. I literally like cast bad voodoo, bad luck on him. And one of his viewers was like, "Oh, give him good luck." So I'm like, okay. Double jinx. That got him. I think. I don't know. I left before I could see anything. But that is Silent Mime Guy. The guy, I'll be streaming with him tomorrow, probably. He's hilarious. If you ever want to mess with him, just tell him the Mad Cultist sends a jinx to you. I'm serious. If you're one of my subscribers or followers, you can always go to Silent Streams and tell him the Mad Cultist, our cult leader, whatever you want to call me, jinxes you. Or, no, tell him I send my jinxes to him. You'll probably get a response if he sees it. You'll probably get a response. Alright, now back to the hand. We're almost finished. Look at this. I feel like this is good enough. Honestly, the outlines look terrible in my opinion. They just don't work. You know what I should have done? I should start doing this like I did my robes or my model. I made everything in like 5K by 5K and then shrunk them. It took forever to like get it working. You know, it worked out in the end. One day I need to like find one of those big time Vtuber model makers and just become their like rigging guy and like work together on stuff and like, you know, do stuff like that. One of these days, though, with all the stuff I'm getting done, I want to get this out of the way. I'm going to work back on finishing my model up a little bit, my improvements. I might just not do the body improvements yet, unless I get a really good idea or someone gives me, one of my friends can give me some, like, pointers on what I should do for, like, the changing the ropes a little bit, underneath the cowl and stuff, mostly, because I can just do that easy. And the goal would be to get that going so you guys can see, like, squinty eyes and stuff. I mean, do I have that? I used, let me see if I can find it. Where did I put that? I have this, I'm gonna show you guys. What I had been showcasing and stuff. I gotta show you guys. You guys will see something really funny in a second. I got something hilarious. This broke silent. I'll show you guys that in a minute. Let me find, where I got the... Oh, there we go. This is what I'm working on. The ability to, like, shift the eyes. I mean, it's just black bars. You know? I mean, that's all it is above the eyes there. But that's what we're working on. That's part of it, mind you. There's an let me see. All the things I can tell you guys. Got it. So... there are improved eyes with emotion of all things, so I can do shifty eyes. I'm gonna restrict a little bit. The whole bug-eyed staring you into like everywhere is still funny to me. I think that's gonna be hilarious to use. I've also got. Let me use this. So we got the beard improved. I got mouth animations improved a bit. I've got new. What I call patches, which is just plain skin color in squares thrown here to like hide teeth and stuff, so that when the mouth gets too big or something like that out of the range there. You can already see it here. New mask. The mask is better. I've worked on animations for the shine to stand out a bit better and work. I have preparations, by the way, for a new hood front. You'll see what it is later. I've also added a bit of shading around the outside. The jinx is always funny with Silent. So Silent's always gotten me for being a jinx. I will always say things like, I mean, every time I say things like, all right, it looks like the sniper's gone, I immediately just get dunged in the head and drop. And he laughs so hard every time I say that, but... So also with my model, we've got the improvements to the movements, and some animations are improved as well. A little bit. There's a few, but a lot of mouth animations have been improved. I'll be able to make like ooh sounds a lot better. I've tidied them up. A lot of these are from Live 2D 3, and that's being improved. And that will happen after we finish the dang glove, because I need to just focus on projects a bit. Also, I'll say this too. After I finish the gloves, or not the gloves, when I finish the gloves and I get my model improved, after I finish my model improvements, it's time to go full on with the cult. And guess what we're returning to? We're returning to my first stream. We're going back to Cult of the Lamb. Not as just a guy playing games, but as a proper streamer. This is coming back. We're going back to a cultist plays a Cult of the Lamb, but this time it's a cultist returns to Cult of the Lamb. I have no clue to remember anything else, but we're going to do stuff like that. That's Kill Fury. I'm happy that you kind of like my idea with that kind of thing. Animated standstill comics that aren't even animated really do popularize with people and give you like a snippet of like what to start with. On my channel, you can see some horrible shorts I did way back in the day of Final Fantasy 14 stuff. And, you know, I did machinimas, you know, like you use the video game to try to make little things and stuff. It kind of was fun. This didn't work out in that way. But that's what I did back in the day and stuff. Well, we're going back to Cult of the Lamb. And this fall, we are going to play Join Us, the apocalyptic cult survival game, where you start an apocalyptic cult. It can be on all sorts of things. It's so stupid looking. I love it. I want to get popular enough before then that I can enter chat with the developers, at least to like, you know, get a little things ahead of time and just go all crazy on the game through a cult mentality, not just, is the game good or bad? Doesn't matter. Can we be a cult and funniness? Perfect. That's all I care about. Game looks fun as heck, though. I'll tell you that much. Let's see what. Oh yeah, I was going to show you guys something funny. Who wants to see what happened when I turned off a lot of parts of my model? I'm going to show you guys what happened one time. And this was so funny. I'll show you what it's like when you're making a V2 model and you have to turn off certain like shapes and stuff. I'll show you the inner workings of my model. I don't know if you guys are prepared for it, because certain head parts are turned off and it's downright funny. This is what it was like working on my model one time. I was working on the parts and getting everything going, and this made me laugh a little too hard. I don't know if this is in Live 2D or in working with Frida, but this is just working with some of the parts. That is this current model you're seeing right now, guys. That is the current model you are seeing right now. I want you to think of that. I want you to look at me talking to you and make a connection between this and this. I want you to think of that, guys. That's me. That's my face. That is my model right there. I don't know, but it was funny as heck looking like that. I have half a mind to make a model out of this. Like, read all this and use that as like a freaking like mock-up model thing as a joke. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. Video's being weird on me. You know, maybe need another line here. This stuff might be good, actually. got so many. I do all my lines as separate layers, and it just ends up being a nightmare in the end. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Let's see. We go to here. There we go. Go to here to 22. Okay, see ya. One of the secrets of doing art is to just draw 1,000 times until something just hits, you know? Something just feels right, and you just go, oh, let's try that. Just try everything, just look at it again. 30 times over, 50 times over. That hits right. That hits right. Trying to add more wrinkles and stuff to the leather to make it more matted look instead of shiny. Now, if I keep these parts separate with Live 2D, I can just shove them together, use them in a single thing. Yeah, that's how it goes. We just get rid of the unseen parts we don't want that we've been testing with and keep the good parts. And I can always change out parts if I want to if I keep them as separate parts, or if I just redo the art of the part entirely, or go back into the master file and do it. Because when we get everything going, before we start shoving everything together, even though we've already shoved the fingers together because, well, I mean, come on, they need to be done. This allows me to do a lot more. Gotta see more of the matte in this without the shine there. We'll get that. We're going to work on a more important thing for the moment that we already have going well, but let's now move on to move off the glove and fingers for a minute. It's time to do the hand, oh, the arm, hand, not hand, arm. No. Working on the arm now. Finally back to the arm. The sleeve. Notice the wrinkles are all separate. I can animate them then. Now, when parts are far enough apart in Live 2D, for those curious, I'll give you guys a little understanding here. So you see these wrinkles, right? I can move these anywhere I want to on this, right? So for Live 2D, the way a lot of things work is you start... Let me just put a fun thing here. Yeah, okay, Fury, I'll give you a hint. Like, the one music I'm using right now is from Stream Beats. There's this one guy, Harris Heller, I think his name is, and he has like 1,500 tracks that he's made for this stuff. I'm using the Chiptunes arcade set for this, for my stream. I kind of use some YouTube ones, which is okay for, if you stream just on YouTube, you can use YouTube copyrighted music that you can get through Studio. But if you're doing things like Twitch as well, or just on like Twitch and stuff for streaming, and stuff, you can use Stream Beats, which is a guy's just complete non-copyrighted music. He just basically goes, everyone on the internet, you can use this. Everyone uses the stream. I want to see my stuff everywhere. And that's kind of how it goes. So I'm using his music. And that's just Stream Beats for that one. But if you're doing YouTube videos or YouTube only streams, you could always go into your YouTube studio and go to the audio section and look through a lot of really good music. I use those for my YouTube videos. They're great. Now, explaining about animation here for you. So, when you are doing animations and stuff with Live 2D, you get little meshes that's like, makes little like vertices everywhere for your model and stuff like that, right? Practically, that's kind of the stuff you kind of do, like a two-dimensional like 3D model. This is talking about Live 2D animations. This is just what I'm doing and stuff. You understand this is cool. So you got all the vertices on there, but also what happens is you have these subdividers on this thing that will split your thing up and when you work with and stuff, right? And what's interesting about all this is, let me just make something. I like educating too much, I swear, when I talk about this stuff. So you can see, like, over here we have these square sections, and over here we have the square section. They're separate sections and stuff. Let's just make it, we'll just say it's over to here, this big thing. Because of that, if I have the dividers even further divided and stuff, and other things go on. Anyways, you get all these like little dividers for your sections and stuff, with little squares you're working with and pulling the animations from. And the whole point is, I can grab over here. I grab over here and not affect over here. That means I can affect, even though they're part of the same like layer and part, I can affect over here without touching here. And that is a Live 2D trick to understand that you can use one part for multiple things as long as you animate it right. Now, I would also suggest if you start using like editing tools, look up DaVinci Resolve. If you're making videos and stuff, especially, it's an amazing program. It's like the most powerful out there. I don't know if your computer can handle it. My God, it's free to use. It is Hollywood grade. And I don't mean just Hollywood grade. DaVinci Resolve is literally used by Hollywood people. What they basically do is DaVinci Resolve has a paid-for version. It's really expensive that the other people, the professionals, use, but they just let everyone use it now because of like the basic editing stuff, which is a very powerful, super powerful, capable editing suite. The reason it costs so much money for them and all the other people use that you don't have to worry about is they have like this grade of cameras called like Blacklight or something. So they just like literally use their camera hardware and software together with DaVinci Resolve and Fairlight and something like that. There's a lot of parts that the hardware that the professionals use can get more out of this program. And so the premium stuff works for them. You don't need the premium. Premium would cost like $1,000 a year or something. But it's free, everyone! The free version is, like, more better than anything out there. The more betterness out there, the better it is, right? Wait, now I need this right now. I need it. All these parts as high as possible. Should probably separate these parts. These parts can go to the side because they're going to be docked on top of everything. So that gives us these parts. And further, we can push the model. You know, another reason that Live 2D is also more important for VTubers for paying for the paid version is also a limit to the size of the models, like placement. Like if it's like high res, it takes a lot more place. But it also means you know you have more. You can do a lot with a little less space. I was gonna just like to add a little bit of using Bezier curve because it's better than my hand can do on this for the most part. Let me see. Let's see at this real quick. Let's just test how long everything is from that compared to, ooh. Too much. Too much. You know, I should do that. That's an idea. We'll make a guide to help me understand the goal. There, now we know what our estimations is and such. This will give me something to work around instead of just fumbling in the dark. A little curve in every line adds a little bit more dimension, depth, and usability in some ways, in my opinion. I'll modify it as I go along, but you know. I'll make that a dip of sorts. I'll do more for it. Voila. How's it look? For a second, I forgot to set the music to repeat. That makes a boring stream if the music's not going. Separate that. And here, I can use the bucket tool to remove it. There we go. All-nighters only matter if you're getting work done or not, honestly. I tell you, sometimes I miss making my model for the first time. The sleepless nights I had for 14 days, I was driven. Like a madman. But that's just how it went, you know? Of course, when I made my V2 model, I had all these... The reason I put so much work into it is so funny, in a way. Well, it's not funny. It's horrifying, mortifying, and terrible. I thought everybody around me was doing so much better. So I have a friend who made a PNG tuber. I thought she had made a VTuber, and that was one of the poses the model was making, you know, and in full animation format and stuff. So I had incidentally created greater mountains for myself to conquer that I didn't even know didn't exist. Imagine you thought there was somebody that was the greatest in the world, and you were hell-bent on defeating them and being better than them, right? And then later on, you become 1,000 times better than that, right? You become the most amazing of all in the world. And you find out that person doesn't exist. Or is different than you were suspecting. Imagine that. What also is an interesting story, though, with that PNG tuber was I saw her... Twitch was saying, like, you should look at this person one day. And I'm like, oh, I know who that is. I know her model maker. Voice changer. Voice changers, yeah, I know a few people that try to use them. It doesn't work out, honestly, for stuff. I know one person, I tell him, he's always like, I'm so unpopular. I have monotone voice. And I'm like, listen, let me teach you about phonetics and enunciation. You need to listen to yourself. Listen to your voice recorded. It sounds different than you think and everything else. You do this, and then you start trying to change your voice manually. You start trying to improve it, trying to do this and that, and make yourself sound the way you want to. See the ranges you have. Learn about yourself. He shows up with a voice changer, sound like Alvin the Chipmunk or trying to be a Decepticon or something. I don't know. It sounds awful. Oops. Hit my microphone a few times trying to hit my buttons here. Oh, I'm doing the wrong freaking spot here. Let's... see if I can get this going right. Just basic code. For some reason, I like doing the little, like, folds too much in cloth. So I gotta fix this bit too. they're working on it. Will the blur save it? That looks awful. Let's see what ones I want to copy. I'll just keep it simple then. Bigger wax then. I guess it doesn't feel like it works there at all. Alright, what else should I try? Sometimes too many folds make it look weird. Of course, people are like, why does it look so wrinkled? I'm like, because I'm a wrinkly creep that lives in a basement. I mean, come on now. That place is not working order. I mean, it is a safety hazard. You guys seen it, right? My God. Got like sparks and water, mold, lots of mold. Lots and lots of mold. I don't know if anyone's even noticed how much mold is in there. This looks like the air. Lots of mold. Not to mention, nobody knows what's down there. Then we got the on air sign just that could fall off any time and hit me in the head. Who knows? It's a shame I don't have insurance. My God, I could really collect the premium with that issue if I just, you know, got it and then accidentally got hit and can live for life with that. Big Silence still going strong on his stream. He's been getting a lot of subs today. Not subs, followers on Twitch today. Got 2 people. Whew. I'm still got a little sleep deprived from last night, so I'm just taking a second just to look around at things. I've been trying to get Son to get his chat going like we got here. I got set for like 200 seconds. Like it's like over 3 minutes. Almost 3.5. 3 1/3 minutes before the text disappears on the stream. So that is something you guys will get. Sounds true real quick. Alright, so we had to redo the outline here, of course. because we got everything going here. I still want to get, I just got to get a few more, like, wrinkles going to look right. You also have to think here, what this is an arm, right? So the arm is like this. So wrinkles can follow suit. I'm trying to think about own wrinkles a little bit, you know? I think I would kind of fold. Not good with a lot of these things, but at the same time, you just try them. You just say like, oh, I don't think it works that well, and then see if it works or not. Just see if anything makes it look good. See, that would work. With the right everything. Where everything kind of fits, you know? That's what I've noticed. We just kind of see how things look with a little bit. Don't have to be good drawings, just check it. So hopefully these shapes give me ideas of other shapes to do. That helps me figure out what I'm lacking and need to do, you know? so much going on with this. Bet you know an idea. Scribble, 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 scribble. Scribble. And then blur the living heck out of it. Okay, maybe I can do a bit more scribble to it. Then we blur the heck out of this. Okay, I still didn't. Do that well. Then look at Transparency, go! Oh, that's wrong. I'll just get rid of it. No. That's fine, though. Alright, I think one more wrinkle will be enough to finish the arm. What, to keep it up here? Okay, I don't have the right color on it. Nothing. We're going to keep it. We got to keep it above this line. Because we're going to cut that off. We're going to make it nice and straight, and we're going to make it transparent. Not too big, a little bit simpler. I am almost done, Fury. Yes, we are about to get it to the point where I will then start getting everything ready, and I might have an animation stream showing live 2D in the works. So that's why we're lengthening on. We're trying to get everything ready to be ready. I feel things to be blurrier here at the bottom of the arm than the top of the arm, so it still looks good. Now, I want this to look as drunkishly haphazard as possible, honestly. This is not made to be some noble-looking greatness, you know. We're not trying to look like we're some well-to-do person. We don't care about looking strange and decrepitly beholden. I had a thought. A great thought. Hold on a second. We will shrink selection. Shrink again. Then we'll invert. Makes sense in a second. Yes. It'll make sense in a second. Wait, what am I doing? What am I freaking doing? Done. Then click. Invert. Delete. Ta-da! What's interesting is you can actually put eraser in the color all bucket and erase an entire color. It's cool to do, in my opinion. I probably shouldn't have to worry about down here, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Yeah, it's probably too much anyways. All right, take the selection again. So remember, we already had that with a shrunk selection. Or just select again. We can just stamp out with that. Buttons again. There we go. I want to try something. Let's try changing the color. I want to see what happens if I do a dark blue on it instead. I like just blurring the same thing with the same strength a couple of times to get a better edge. I have that shading up here somewhere. That's shading. Yeah, gotta do away with that, unfortunately. There's no point in you anymore. I've replaced you. So much to do. Looks good though. That shadow on top of it though. Ah, looks a little better now. It now goes over the sidelines. What is that? Something's not right. Gasp. Incorrect. It must be eliminated. That wasn't it. Good. This was that one. Deleted. The bleed is gone. That's another problem with a lot of models having the bleed effect. Really drives me mad. Drives me mad. Get it? Anyways. Let's see. That was the helper. What is this of? Ah, is that the blue one? Remove you. Just a little to the side. Don't want any pixels cut off by anything. So in the end, with Live 2D, a goal is to have the parts be able to fit into your texture atlas. What a texture atlas is nothing more than a piece of paper where all your parts are lined out side by side, not crossing over. There's no layers like in a PSD document. And it basically draws from that data to make your model. It's a paper doll, basically. It's like a gunpla kit. It's the best way to put it out. So when you're making a Live 2D model, you're going to have a big square. And inside that square, you've got like your head shape, top lips, bottom lips, top teeth, bottom teeth, whatever, you know, you have your ears. Maybe both, depending if they're different or not, but sometimes you can just use one and just copy it. You know, your arm is there with your hand. If you copy it, it's just one. Otherwise, you got another one. Yeah, so like, you know, that's how it goes, the stuff with Live 2D. So your parts will be there, your torso, probably another shape. Melons. Watermelon. Hoot hoos. Ha-has, tee-hees. You know, whatever. Whatever your model has. That's also there. So anyways, we've got the arm going, I think. So now we're trying to tidy up a bit. Double checking our work too. I get mesmerized by the folds of the cloth sometimes. I think it actually turn out really good sometimes by happenstance. I unsettle a little bit by how they turn out and look good, you know? And anyone that complains that your arms look so wrinkled, yes. Yes, they do. That's the point. I'm not going to not be me. I'm going to be myself a bit more, you know? If you look not feathers, question here. I keep on like seeing things I don't want to see happen. Like a fear, like bleeding effects when they're not there. Like I'm seeing things, my eye translate one thing to the next and drive me crazy. Alright, so for all intents and purposes, the arms are done. Well, the arm is done. Oh, I didn't do it, did I? No, I didn't. No. What is wrong with me? I did not do that. It's really hard than I thought to do this. That's not work. Oh. Why is it? It's a weird angle. I want to cut it across here. It's not doing it. Let's see if I do better angle. Get like a perfect cut somehow. Almost. We barely passed it. Not quite. Ah, is it? It's pretty close, actually. I can move those up if I wanted to, actually, couldn't You know what? The hell with this. I'm going manual. Anyway, let's see if we can just get this a little tighter done, though. Oh, I got a better idea. Why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I think of that? Such a much better idea. We must first... Yes. Go into the solid areas. And there. There. Yes. Why did I think of this before? Of course. I have the idea now. Okay. What am I specialized with? Blur. We'll blur it into... Okay, that's too much, maybe. What if we copy it? We'll duplicate it. We'll invert and delete everything else too. We'll just invert, delete. That's fine. And then we'll invert back to normal. And we'll blur it. Copy them all together and duplicate and merge details. Every time we merge and duplicate, it's a little finicky. It'll work, I think. We got a good thing, I think. That let's where is the, there we go. Duplicate this. Invert and delete again, like we did before. And then invert again. And blur it. Okay, that didn't work like nearly I hoped it would. Let's see then. How can I get this up back? Yeah, we got these things we can do it like that. Let's see if I do it like. Yeah, the right angle is really hard with this. Let's just leave it like that, and we'll try this too. Okay, that kind of works. Okay, we missed a bit, but yeah, we can fix this in post. We can fix this in post. We'll just you know, did it. What is that part of? This? It's part of this. Okay. Ah, I see. That's not necessarily right. A little bit needs blurring again. Blurring allows us to add pixelation to a bit and tighten it. And ta-da! There. We got it. Look at that. I have a little edge just in case, you know. Shows it doesn't have like a little hard edge. It kind of looks a little... I want to do more transparency to it. I guess I not to. Kind of hard to do, you know. That didn't come off like I wanted it to. So I'm like, I'll just leave it like it is. Hopefully it's big enough, long enough, and good enough that it will not be seen anyways. But in case it is, for whatever reason, we have that part. What is this part? Ah, that's one. It's so tiny, I missed it. I'm going to merge all these. I can always separate them if I ever need to, because they're so far apart. If they're not far apart, they're part of the same piece. Alright, so now we have two separate pieces that have their own uniquities to it. We have the sleeve and the cuff, which will be having more because the cuff's got its own shape, its under shape, which will go underneath it. But it'll also go into a unique spot where it will be underneath the hand, making it look like the hand's inside. That's the whole point of it. The hand goes over it. There's a lot of effects we have in this. We've got the ruffles for there. So the arm is complete. I'm just going to call this arm. Or, no, let's call it sleeve. It's a sleeve more than the arm. Arm's not visible. It's a sleeve. Oh, so that's out of the way. We've got the sleeve done. Now we just double check the hand parts and stuff. Really like the little wrinkles I added to the glove here. Makes it a lot more realistic. Probably get rid of my little extra stuff I don't need here. See where this stuff is. Ah. Smudging on the top of that. Oh, if I need the other. A little bit actually works, I think. Yeah, a little bit. It's good. What I've got to remind myself is what we are doing is not making 1000% edible. So my problem is I keep on thinking of everything being moving around parts. They're not. They're not made to move around. They do not need to move around. And if they do, it causes other issues, you know. I mean, I can leave the, like, shines and stuff a little bit, but we do not need to leave a lot of others. So. We'll merge those. I know I said I would make a new copy before I merge, but this is just fine. It's gonna work out. It'll be good. Probably. Maybe. You know. Sort of. Something. I guess we should start naming some parts too. Orange patch. Orange patch highlight. Honestly, we're dealing with like 500, like 300 like layers. More so if you count the ones I get rid of. Together. We're going to put the shine underneath the stitch, so we're going to call this orange stitch. Sometimes you need to separate things just so that you can kind of like have them not work with against each other or something. Like I put the scratches above the highlight doesn't affect them. But if I put it below the highlight, the highlight does affect them. So that's the kind of interesting thing. Does the scratches prevent the light, or does the light affect the scratches? As you can tell looking at this, though, the scratches work better on top. We call it orange scratches. But they don't conflict with the stitch, so they can be part of one thing, really. Then we'll have blue patch. This is probably the most annoying part for me, honestly, with making a thing. Blue highlight. I won't even call it patch. Just call it highlight. That should do that part. We call it blue features. It's stitching and the slashing, the cuts. Now these do want to be shiny a bit, is the thing I like with them. Get those like shiny patches of leather. Knuckle highlights and knuckles. So we can take the orange scratches and put little blue features, the orange features. Oh, no, we can't. Okay, so we do need to separate these a little bit. Or we combine that with blue patch. We could, you know, doesn't have to do it. We just leave them there like that. That way we can organize it better. Call it wrist wrinkles. What is this one? Ah, it's a single let's just call it hand highlight. This is the whole hand we're going to look at. We'll move that above these. Keep it 100% because we're going to re-split the time. Let's give them names. Hand, wrinkle 1. Hand, wrinkle 2. Now you don't have to name your layers when you're making V2 models, but like it helps a lot when you're disorganized like heck with me. Kind of thing, you know? That's weird. That's like just this. It doesn't turn off. We can't do anything with it. We can't. This should be something with a. No, nothing's with the layer. Why is the passing not working on it? I wonder. Color it in? Yeah. I think I seen the outside working, but only if I... Okay, so it goes 100% if you click on it like that. Alt click. Okay, okay, I understand. Merge smudges together. This is the hard part. This is where I just want to take a break, I swear. You know? Looks like Silent finally finished his stream. I saw that he actually, there was a clip I made of his, video, basically, right? Of, Hitman. Thought it was so funny. Saw him post on YouTube. Very happy with that, you know. That's going on. Okay. So it's very interesting is a lot of people have their accounts to private and stuff and all these things. When I get like followers and subscribers on YouTube and Twitch and stuff, and this is private, they don't get to see the animation I made for joining the cult. So sad, but oh well. We'll get there eventually. People start joining all the time. It'll play a little organ music and everything. Of course, it really wouldn't go well with the stream right now because we're playing music. It would overdo it a bit. Let's rename. Okay, very good. Call it hand. Outline shadow for this one. I feel like I'm doing like a paper, you know, like a and thumb shadow. There's so many things I kind of want to work with the live 2D to kind of like see if the shadows work better, and then some things shift kind of shadows a little bit, so I like to keep them so separate. That's why I got so much. This was originally like a 7-part plan. Didn't it that way? He's going to the shadow. Oh. anything on this? What is that? Oh, I know this. Oh, I gotta get this complicated thing because this is a two-parter. Index front upper highlight. Index back upper highlight. Ah. Index knuckle. It's not the knuckle. Middle highlight. Upper. I got it here to be smudgy, but it's not. How are you smudgy? Probably got the whole finger. I can't do that with this two-parter. Delete. Index front wrinkles. Index back lower shadow. Index front upper shadow. Did I already have a mouse back upper highlight, right? Index back upper shadow. I feel like I'm entering something into Microsoft Excel. I hate this part. That smudge didn't work. That should be index back lower shadow. Shadows and stuff all need to be proper. It will allow things to be a lot better looking. Index back main. This is the body. Index front lower shadow. Index front lower shadow mode. Makes it look a lot better. Index front main. This is not just a part of my model. This is just a hand, right? So honestly, this can be done a lot differently better. When I eventually do hands for the model with tracking and stuff, the goal is to have them as single pictures and basically just animate them from there. The fingers will not be separate. I tried that a bit. That was a lot of parts, like 30 parts for like a single hand or two. And that was not going very well. And even though I could do it, I also tried to do it so it'd be like everything. I should have done it just as like sections and like different hands. And there's a way to do it, but It's so complicated, I decided not to go with that when I was doing it. Let's rename this sleeve stuff. Cuff wrinkles. Let's deselect this stuff first. Cuff mane. Cuff under shadow. Cuff underside. We'll call it underside. Sleeve shadow. Sleeve wrinkles. And finally, sleeve mane. Let me try to see. Anyone else find this area just really, like this whole thing we're doing here, this thing I'm doing, really freaking boring? Yeah. Thumb base joint wrinkle. It's a special wrinkle, gets its own set. Ugh. Thumb base wrinkle shadow. What is this? Oh. Thumb base highlight. Thumb top. Use the top of the thumb. Let's go with thumb body highlight. Yeah, guys, we're at the boring part. If anyone's got anything fun to ask or say, now's the time. You can have my full attention. Thumb top shadow. Oh crap, are we done almost? Thumb joint wrinkle. Now I still gotta do a little bit of the index. I gotta get that little smudgy looking bit. But piece by piece. Thumb joint wrinkle 2. Yep, everyone's like ditching out now. I've been frickin' naming the layers and stuff. I should start making stories up at this time or something. You know, it's getting a little boring here for people. What did I do here? Did I just knock off one of the things? Oh, wait a second. I see that part. What is that? Why was it? You know, that could... that's not that good. Or, what if we moved it a little? Then we blur it some more. Yeah, let's go with that. Wrinkle set. Ha ha ha. We'll just go. And then you got like opacity, kind of like shows whether it's doing with the thumb joints. Works really good that way. You are not needed. That is where it stretches. thumb joint, wrinkle, shadow. I'll do at least a little voice with it. And make it more interesting for all of us. I can play around with it. Thumb, outline, shadow. We're almost there, we're almost there. We're almost done with everything, everyone. Come on now. Anyone got any ideas of something we want? Something up. Thumb smudge. Thumb smudge. Thumb smudge 2. Everything's gotta be opacity max too. Oh gosh. Look at that. Ugh. Nah, let's get rid of that one. Oh, that heavy. And then finally, a thumb mane. All right. Oh, we didn't do the stupid middle finger group. Where's it at? Ah. Oh, did I make a mix of it? Yeah, that's right. I made a copy. Michael highlight. We're at 4 away. We're 4 away. Fingers highlight. Fingers darkness. Not into shadow. We're gonna call it darkness. And then fingers mane. That's what I'll show you guys here. Whoops. Let's see. No, let's just copy this. I'll show you guys something. So this looks weird, right? And the real reason it looks weird is because it should look like... Hold on. Let's see, we like up here, right? This is actually what it looks like. More or less. Of course, it curves over here and there's a thumb, but you know. There's a little better show. The reason the fingers look so weird. This is what VTube models should look like before they're thrown out, you know? Well, that's old thumb. Kind of went a little overkill, didn't we? I mean, it looks like a grizzled veteran just got back from war kind of thing. That hand looks awful in a way, like consider the sketch. But the shadows and the highlights will be limited in Live 2D. We're going to reduce the hell out of them. We can change the layers of where they go and everything else. And that way I have full control over like where the shadows like release and come forward. Most V2 models are just like left, right, up, down kind of things, honestly. Most people don't put a lot of effort into it. They bake in the shadows. I don't bake in shadows. I wish I did two-tone shadows and stuff, and that's why I want an artist to work with one day. But the whole point is when it comes to making a V2 model, if you have the shadows and highlights separated, you can mask them and move them around. You can make things look so much more real. That's why my model, despite being inferior, looks superior to a lot of better models in some ways. It's still inferior to me, you know. But I'm an Orthodox, so it counts. Remove everything below. Destroy them. And rename all this. Rename the big ones. The groups especially. At least of the groups. Fingers. Hyphen. I don't want to backspace. It might cause some issues with some sort of like, you know how things go. Index. Glove outer. I don't know why I call it glove outer. There's no glove inner. And sleeve. What are these? Must be. You're unneeded now. We have pinhole and pin shadow. That's all we need. So really, what we're going to do here is duplicate it twice. But why, you might wonder? Do this. Oh, I don't want to do that. Other side. Invert. Left. Pin half lower. And this part we shall call pin half up. I hope honestly I picked the right parts to cut in half because you know, weird ones. Let's do better to have and not need than to not have and want. Pin shadow upper. Pin shadow lower. New group. Pen. We're going to give it that aspect like this. You see how it's like, you know, this. We're going to do that for the pen in Live 2D when it gets around to it. That's just, there's explaining what we're doing. You can understand this. You're a cipher. All right. So, since we're going to cut off, like, this area here is not going to be visible for the most part. But we got it just in case. So it's going to sleep out, you know, sleeve in and out. We're going to animate the sleeve a lot and stuff. I really want to put a lot into this little simple design. I do think we need to finish up the index finger before we go. But then we're done. We just need to add smudging to the finger, honestly. Though it's kind of difficult for some stuff. I'm trying to think how to do it properly with some stuff. Because I still feel like there's just something missing with the coloration, you know? But the problem is, because of the coloration being that way, the finger slides under here. This is an entire finger maul, right? So this is over. As a result, what we have is it won't mesh well. It won't mesh well. So I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Because with transparencies, there's so much darkness and edges and stuff, it just doesn't work that well. we might just try to just, you know, get this, that, get some, figure out where I put my pin. There we go. What if I do? Actually, no, wait. Do we want to be another piece? Doesn't matter about the lines being good or bad. We just want to kind of follow that style or something. We'll see where it goes from here. Maybe we'll see how the blur works, and that will give us like a definitive understanding which way to go from there. Do that. Do this a bit here too. I want to do that. I want to do that and this. Let's reduce the size of it for these lines. Don't want to mess with the finger too much in this regard. There. Yeah, we'll try to... You can see the issue here we're having. That gets cut off because it's being underneath. However... I am seeing more of this going a bit better. We do this better, we can do more with it. Oh, no. I want to do this part, not that part. Let's do a bit more to this, and we'll add to it. This can only swivel up anyway, so we can do a bit of molding and a shape that will keep itself. Not going to go far anyway, so. You like this, though. Oops, don't do that. Let's see if a bunch of squibbles can be doing something good with that, if we do it right. Invert it. And delete, just in case there's anything outside of our range. Then now we have the kind of smudginess. Adds a bit of texture. Alright, let's review everything we have so far. Oh, I forgot that didn't go down that far. What is this? Oh, that's just pin by itself. Won't need that for this one. We've already got that secured here. Nor do we need this piece. Nor the practice piece to get an idea. Alright, so let's review everyone. For those who are watching enough to care. Which is not going to be that many, but you know, somebody might be watching this point, curious about what we final bit. So it's now for the final piece. Okay, so we got sleeves up right. So everything's here, got to fit on the canvas a little bit to make it look right. We've tapered the end of this. We have our sleeves separated to wrinkles. With everything with the cuff, those multiple parts and the wrinkles. We have our outer glove. We got our pin as well. You know, we got that with shadows and splits and stuff like that. We're gonna do a lot with it. It's gonna be fine. Let me just see this real quick. I should check this by itself. See. Oh yeah, we can't do that. Oh, well, anyways, we got it. I can always add another shadow if we need to do that later. Pin off to take a look at the outer. We got a lot of parts there. It's going to be, you know, less. It doesn't look great. I know that. It doesn't. It'll look better in animation. I'll tell you that much. These things look great. Everything in Live 2D looks amazing after you animate it. We've got the highlight for this. We can move it around if we wanted to. So it's kind of sitting back there. Really, all I want to do with it is opacity to go brighter and there. Don't want to really move it. So it's going to be stuck to the glove. Like this will all be a single piece. Nothing's really going to move around. I mean, it could, but we're not probably. I can still move the highlights off it and still have them part just masked into the piece itself. I'm gonna put that into DarusTheMad. It's a shadow piece of it. Whoops, I want to merge. There, handmade. Highlights are there, wrinkles, knuckles, knuckle wrinkles, parts, wrinkles here, wrinkle there. It's a good wrinkle. Good wrinkle. Basic wrinkles, other things, highlights, outlines, etc. Index finger. We got the front pieces and all the back pieces and stuff with highlights and shadows. So kind of doing a little smudging to try and get something more texturous going there. We're going to lighten the heck out of everything, so it's going to be fun. And we got the thumb doing its thing and stuff. It looks weird, but with the pins on it, it's not going to look so weird. We can also deform it a lot, and it's straight edge, so straight edge is deforming better than a curved edge. It's interesting stuff we got. So we got all that stuff. It's got... I love how the thumb's, like, base area turned out. We got it good. We got it good. Could probably add a wrinkle here, but it's fine. We don't need it. And then finally, we got the fingers into 4 single pieces. So that's good. Still none of the palm showing, but you know, it's just for fingers. So it's fine. And then a background that's pure white and doesn't really matter. Click, click, remove. How many layers do I freaking have, guys? Good lord. 4, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We got dang near 50 parts, everyone. Near 50 parts. 50! Make sure all the edges look at least a little anti-alias. VTube Studio will take care of some others, I guess. Make it look smoother, I guess. So something's will happen. It'll look better. It'll look better in that motion. I mean, like, it'll all look better in motion. And you zoom out and it looks even better, right? Look at that. You can't even tell how terrible the pixels are now. See how good it looks, everyone? how good it looks so far out. See, you can't tell any of the problems. Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong at all. So, is anyone sticking around, asking any questions here before we end as I do my final checkup? Because, you know, past that. Also, if you have ideas for games you want to see played or other things done and stuff, let me know then too. Well, we have finished the V2 model hand for drawing. Next will be the design. We can work on that too right now. Let's work on the design for anyone paying attention. Let's work on design. Pop. Boop. And good. Okay. So obviously, we got our little arm. Whoosh, right there. With a hand out of it, and a thumb, and the fingers, and grabbing a pen. Yay. If someone's not amused by my terrible drawing, I don't know what does amuse you. But the whole idea is up, down, left, right? But you gotta think about like how the arm moves between like here to here. I mean, sure, you can go straight up, but at the same time, you also kind of curve, right? So the idea could also be adding in an XY physics with a curve aspect or something. To not just do it, but kind of like pop up. Oh, you know what I could do? Because I'm stupid and I want to overdo things. If I animate the hand to kind of squish and rotate upwards when it goes to the top, and then come back down, make an animation for it to kind of like twist a little, just a little bit, right? Flatten, lengthen, just a smidge, right? That gives the idea of velocity. And we can also program that into the physics to be that way, right? And I also need to do rotation as the physics thing, I think because then it's not gonna, it's gonna center at the end of the point. The model's weight will be right here on the pin. That is the center of the model. Everything else is an extension going outward. So if we have it rotate, so the pin go, you know, if you move it a certain way, the pin might go from here and your model rotates with it to here. And that's a possibility for it too. I've been trying to think of other things about it to do. We've got the sleeves. Got to give them some motion, you know. Up and down, right? So that's another thing to work with. Making them the hands with the pen squeeze a little differently, right? You know, between the two. We got the pin in there, right? We can have the fingers change between which one's more pressed against the pin, between the upper finger and the lower finger. They can scoot left or right on the pin. Now remember, the pin's the center, right? So it's kind of like how you motion with it. Now at the same time, I could also have, if it's not finger down, the pen could actually be more back here. I know it's weird to say it like this, like, but like the position can change just a little inch, maybe like right here, go back a bit, and let the pin have physics only during then and stuff. Maybe press down, it can have no physics or something. I don't know how I install it to no longer have physics affected in that way. I gotta figure that out in that sense. But that's if I really want to push this. Then, I mean, we've already spent countless hours on this model. Most because I had to draw it. I'm a terrible drawer. When it comes to animating, it's a lot more fun. We got the parts. We have the system. We have the technology. A few parts we forgot, everyone. There's a few parts we forgot. There most definitely is some parts I forgot. And they are in the index section. Duplicate, grab. Actually, I'm going to do that, do I? We're just going to make another thing and do that, and boom. Deselect, blur, fine. The main shadow underneath. This is going to be for the fingers. Oh, that's not on the index. Ah. Index back. And, where's the front? There we go. That's it. Remember I said everything adds a little kind of realism. So we have this kind of work underneath. We just move it underneath it and put it in the same deformers as the fingers and stuff. So when the finger moves around, it kind of like works it. So index, front, shadow, underneath. This is going to help with the fingers and stuff. I can't think of anything else. If there's anyone out there and you have any ideas, please let me know. Or thoughts for that matter. We almost got this here. I think it's kind of died out here. Usually the midnight streams go a little longer. Well, we're close to midnight. But we're stopping early today because we've got it done. Next will be animating the VTuber model drawing hand. Or VTuber drawing hand model. We'll be finished. We'll be animating this month. Yeah, probably this weekend after Friday, maybe Saturday or Sunday or something. I'll decide to do it and stuff. I got not a lot going on. And we'll import this sucker into Live 2D and rig the hell out of it. We'll make this thing, like I'd say sing, dance or something, but we'll get it soon, okay? But we have it, everyone. We have the parts. They look terrible in this way, but let's just, I'll just save it. I'll save it as PSD. BRZ, Photoshop image. PSD, just so you know, for anyone that doesn't know. Photoshop is the style of import for Live 2D. It gets all the layers properly, and that's how you do it. So, we finished it, everyone. The art part of it. Mostly, maybe. I don't know. I hope. Tomorrow, though, I'll be streaming at 8 o'clock again. This time I did, sorry, at 7:30, but 8 o'clock tomorrow. I'll be streaming something with Silent, probably. So, if you guys got any ideas, let us know. Tell us what you want to do. Unless, of course, Silent's like going to scream at me to make sure I do something or get something. We'll find out. But thank you for everyone who tuned in today to the art stream of finishing the VTuber model hand drawing model thing, model hand arts stuff. Thank you. Anyways, everyone, as always, I will see anyone who wants to show up tomorrow as I do chaotic streams and piss the hell out of Silence. So I'll catch you all then for those who show up. And we'll finish this model as an animated VTuber model on Saturday or Sunday, and maybe test it out another day. Anyways, thanks y'all for tuning in.